hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. I hope everybody had a nice weekend and is well rested. Well, this week we're coming into a short week for Thanksgiving. Markets closed Thursday, only open a half a day on Friday. The earnings data and the econo data really is not that strong, other than we have FOMC minutes on Wednesday. Just don't have a lot of data that was worth adding to the video. We will definitely track it day for day. So when we get these holiday weekends, a lot of times, not every time, there's no guarantee, but a lot of times we'll get these bullish trends up, low volume, bullish trends up. Bears just seem to take vacation earlier. We'll see. There has been times that has not happened, but the majority of the time we just get a nice steady trend up. Either way, keep our opinions out of the trading, and we'll play the action. So this is the bullish percent index for the Nasdaq. You can see we've already broken down out of the 70 area, actually struggling, trying to hold to 9 now. If you look at the S&P 500, which the NASDAQ holds mostly tech, if you look at the S&P 500, which is a wide variety of stocks, you can see we're still in the 70 area, and we're still holding the 9. The 70 area is important because when we get up here, even this is the tracking just what we've done this year, but even if you go back in time, we don't spend a whole lot of time up above that 70 area. We get good pushes, they max out, we pull back. Good push, we max out, we'll pull back. But this is tracking this year. You can see we've spent very little time up here, no matter how big the move was. So this is the put to call ratio. We were down here in the neutral zone. Towards the end of the week, we got pushed back into the bearish, but we are now back at 87, so we are back in the neutral zone. Ethereum breaking down out of that bear flag. Exactly what we've been expecting, unfortunately. This is the oscillators for the NASDAQ. So we're at 39. Oscillators for the New York Stock Exchange, we're at 77. So we have plenty of room to move in either direction. Our put to calls telling us the same thing. We have plenty of room to move in either direction. This is the weekly chart for the S&P 500. We are holding the 20. The 20 weekly is support right now. This is a breadth chart. Our oscillator, our moving averages that we use on here, the 9 is showing us that we have a bearish divergence there. So that could be something to play out. The US dollar, we're bear flagging here. The 9's working its way down. This is worth keeping an eye on. Your MACD is trying to change character, starting to level off on the bottom. VIX daily breaking down out of the bear flag, exactly what we expected. Keep an eye on this MACD. It looks like we may be trying to pinch for a move lower. You can see the 15-minute chart of the VIX. Nice downtrend Thursday and Friday. Crude, ugly 2 down days here. We picked this up in pre-market on Friday. That provided some opportunities. Energy actually ripped when market opened on that pullback. Gold flagging back into the 9. That's a nice setup there. We will keep an eye on our gold names this week. MACD could possibly be changing character. Same thing. You're starting to level out up here. We can still pinch for further upside. Or we could easily roll over watching that 9. That'll give us a good idea of what's happening. If we lose the 9, we can start looking at it with a different point of view. So this is our percentage of stocks above our 200 moving average and above our 50 daily moving average. So you can see here on the New York Stock Exchange, we have 41% of stocks that are above the 200, 71% are above their 50, that inside of the holdings of the New York Stock Exchange. So for the S&P 500, we have 56% above our 200, and we have 83% above our 50-day. So this is the advanced decline lines for the New York Stock Exchange, the S&P 500, mid caps, and small caps. And you can see we're seeing more strength here in the mid caps and the S&P 500 than what we are in NASDAQ. The S&P 500 is back above the 9. Definitely watching how we're acting on this moving average. Getting under the 9 here on these charts is just telling me that some of the momentum is bleeding out of this move. Apple pushed into this downtrend. It is holding it. We pulled back. It found support at this downtrend. We did take it out, but it is holding support there. We need to get that 9 up there to push up. AbbVie, nice breakout of that little flag. Some healthcare stocks looking really good. AMD, we got a nice flag here. Push off the 9. On Thursday, Friday, we gapped up and everything in the market pretty much pulled back. AMD weekly, you're wedged right in between your 200 weekly and your 20 there. I don't like it when stocks are wedged in between the moving averages like that. We need to have room to make money. Affirm rejected at the 9 on its way down, but you can see a candle pattern right there. It's not textbook, but not everything's always going to be textbook. Affirm 15-minute chart, you can see the big pullback there Friday. Amazon pullback there Friday. So this is Amazon's weekly. You have a bear pennant here on the weekly ugly chart. AMC, 15-minute chart, you can see the pullback. Not a big move on Friday, pretty much held tight range. AMD, a little bit bigger of a pullback down here. You can see started to put in a bottom and started to push back up. American Eagle, added this one this week. Nice cup here. 9's working its way up, pushing up into a prior resistance. And you can see we've had struggles here. Your daily 200's on its way down. To show you, if you were to draw another line, you can see that 200 is going to work out just about even with that candle, letting you know that there's resistance up here. But these retail numbers come out really good for the most part. Amgen, nice push up. Nice trend break there. Pushing up off the 9. Amazon daily. To me, this chart is weaker. I mean, you're below your 9 here. Anytime you're below your 9, you have to look at it with a bearish mindset. Of course, catching intraday moves. But if I was looking to trade this week and looking to trade bullish, I would not be looking at this chart. To be honest, there's just too many nice flags set up right now. But if you're looking for a possibly bearish move, that could be it. Apache, with crude steady pulling back, energy is losing some of its legs here. You can see we did pull back Friday, and then looks like we were able to recover most of that by the end of the day. But we are below the 9 and 20 there. Apple 15-minute chart, you can see we pulled back, it opened and ripped up, but still pretty much held in a tight range. Apple weekly chart, above the previous candle, we were able to hold that previous candle. It pushed right up into your weekly 20. So we need to clear that to push. ARK, we have broken below the 9 and 20 there as well. This chart's looking weak. Boeing, we were waiting on this 9 to catch up. First candle dropped below it. Looks like it was able to recover it Friday. Pretty tight range on Friday, looks like. MACD still interesting there. Tight flag. Bitcoin weekly, just ugly down here. Still holding that support level for now. You can also see Bitcoin daily trying to lose this flag here. Boeing, you can see the tight range was able to come right back to open. Charge point, pulling back here. We are under the 9 and 20 here. Another chart that's just looking very weak compared to so many setup. When you look at a chart like that, and you look at a chart that's flagged into the 9 here, that you're above the 9, would much rather try to be bullish on this than what you would try to trade that last chart bullish. Chewy, you can see after the initial pullback, very tight range there for the rest of the day. This is consumer staples breaking up out of this little tabletop, pushing right up off the 9, pushing up. You can see we gapped up there Friday. Crowd, once again, another ugly chart. Still above the 9, but trapped in between the 9 and 20 here. There's just better charts than this when you're wedged in between two moving averages. We can still get a push off this 9, yes, but you have your 20 right there. You do have room to make money in there, so you keep that in mind. Crowd's not one of my favorites stocks to trade just due to the spread just being ridiculous. CVX, we've lost a 9 here. We pushed off the 20. I'm looking for this to lose this 20 before I'm willing to go short on it. You can see your moving out or your Bollinger Bands are coming in for the pinch. Your 20 moving average is your meme here, so you could easily get a push either way, either a break or a push there. So neutral in between that 9 and 20, that's just a no trade area. But if we can get above one or below the other, game is on. CVX, you can see the intraday double bottom down here was able to take the neckline out, big push into the end of the day. DVN, we had this double bottom here, but never. It tried to confirm it and ended up breaking down. If you are interested in trading this, as long I would, right here above the 50, not interested. If it breaks below this 50, maybe get a move down to your double bottom. I think there's better charts to trade right now. DraftKings, just weak, pushed right into your daily 200 there, snatch back in between the 50 and the 200, 9 and 20 on the way up. I just think there's better charts to trade. This downtrend, even though this candle broke it, you can still see the reactions at that level, flagging in, trying to push up. Just not interested in this until it gets up out of this area. It's got to be away from that original downtrend line, even though it's been taken out. So you got Dollar General here, which has been trading in this channel for a few months now, several months, which has been a decent play if catching bounces off support or rejections off resistance. But you can see right here we got this little cup, which is a cup is nothing but a base. It's not perfect. You can see it's downward sloping. But we're trying to push up here. 9 and 20 is on the way up. Would like to see a stronger MACD, but with retail sales strong, keep an eye on that. And this is our retail chart. So this is a chart that tracks retail stores. So basically, this is located inside of the consumer staples. So you have a cup and handle breakout here. And like I say, we have strong numbers going into holidays. A lot of these strong numbers, they had strong numbers, but a lot of them actually guided down. So they're basically not expecting as big of a holiday year as they had last year. Lilly, I like this chart. We broke down. We were able to hold this back above the 9 and 20. I was actually looking for some short action here, and it just didn't continue to break down. It held this candle line. We finally broke below your moving averages here. This candle opened up and pushed up. So it didn't respect we were looking for follow through. Didn't get it. No trade. Just did not give the signals to enter for a short trade there. Pushed up on Thursday. We are holding above the 9 and 20. As long as we're above that 9 and 20, bullish on it. XLE wedged in between the 9 and 20. If we lose this 20-day, you can see the Bollinger Bands trying to pinch. If we lose this 20-day, looking for shorts. Not interested in trading them until they lose that 20 or they, get a back above that 9. ExxonMobil, nice. We had this nice pullback, and because crude pulled back, we had our energy names pull back. Then we had this nice push up at market open. Ford. So GM had a day. I didn't add GM chart, but they had an investors day. They talked a lot of good stuff last week, so that helped get us back above the 9. We still have this 200 to deal with. I'm not interested in this until we get above this 9 or above this 200 or back below this 9. MACD could be trying to change character there as well. Those EV numbers that come in, or the EV numbers that GM was talking during their investors day, did help propel forward as well. First Solar, another strong chart. Nice push off the 9 here. Seen a little bit of follow through. MACD still looks good there. GME, I'm just not interested in GME until it breaks out of this base one way or the other. Google, we had a couple perky days last week. We did manage to get above the 50. We have broke back below the 50. The 9's on the way up. Let's see how that acts when the 9 gets to it. Home Depot, you have this really nice tabletop here. This is a really, really nice setup here. You can look at it like you have a cup right here. I didn't draw it out, but you actually have a cup right here. So we've pushed up, put in this nice tabletop. The 9, to me, the tabletop with 9 pushing up will remain bullish here as long as this 9's on its way up, and see how we act when we get there. It's a strong chart. The Qs, that gap up is what got us on Friday. That gapped up, got us out of the flag, and then pulled back. 9's on its way up, still remain bullish above that 9. I mean, intraday trading is different. Qs fairly flat on Friday. You can see we did pull back, kind of held a little recovery at the end of the day. It was actually a nice push at the end of the day. You can see the Qs here on the weekly. Your 20-day or 20 weekly is resistance here. TLT bonds 20-year, we had a nice push up. We broke above the 50, lost the 50 here, but you can see the 9's on its way up. A really nice looking weekly chart we'll look at in a few minutes. IWM pushing right into this downtrend. This is IWM's weekly. You can see this downtrend right here. You also got your 50 weekly as well right there, letting you know you have resistance there. Even if you don't draw that downtrend, that 50 is letting you know there's a resistance there. So we need to get above that 50 for the IWM to continue to push. That's a big level. IWM here, you have this nice cup. We have lost the 50, but we still holding the 9. Kind of a tight area there. We need to get above or below one of them. Just not enough room in there to make money. You can see the 15-minute chart. We come pull back Friday. Some decent recovery at the end of the day. Lockheed Martin come down, put in this little base, trying to reclaim the 9 and 20 there. MACD may be changing character there as well. Mara, we talked about this when this lost this support and to go short, and a nice move down off of that. See, when you break a resistance support/resistance level, we expect acceleration of price action when we lose those levels. Merck, nice push up Thursday and Friday. See if we can get follow through off that outside of the Bollinger Bands. But your Bollinger Bands are pinching here, letting you know volatility is coming in to the stock. MACD's getting ready to cross there. Chart looks like it has more into it. Meta holding your 9. Nice flag right here on your 9, above your 9 and 20. It's not a bad looking chart. I wonder if it can finish filling that gap. Meta intraday. MU, semis have just been, for the most part, weaker. You can see we broke back below the 9, gapped up Friday, tested the 9, and pulled back again. Microsoft, once again, a very decent flag right here into the 9. You can draw that out. That needs to take that out. If we take that out, possibly get a move up to 250. Microsoft intraday, very choppy. Big pullback, chopped around down here at the bottom. You can see it was pretty tough trading in that area, but when we were able to push this out, put a multiple bottom down here, was able to push up, take that out, had a nice push going into the end of the day. We called that recovery as well, and that push up. Microsoft weekly in between your 9 and 20, still below this major resistance level here that's been marked out. This level's been on this chart forever. So we're still holding this level, trying to get back above it. Moderna, very strong. We tracked this cup, and it's just been pushing. So now we're flagging here, waiting on the 9 to catch up. MRO, this one we have broken below the 9 and 20 already. MACD's cross bearish. See if we can get a move down there. MU intraday, you can see Friday was a pretty tight day. Tight range. NASDAQ still respecting the 9, trying to push up out of this flag. This Friday was kind of a bad, just a crap day to gap up like that and then lose it. Netflix here. Netflix is pushed up into this gap. Gap is shrinking, so it has been doing a pretty good job working on filling this gap. Now you can see the size of the gap at one time, and we're down to, it's not even this big anymore. We do have a bearish divergence there in the RSI, testing the 9 and 20. NVIDIA has lost its 9 on Friday. See how we open up tomorrow. MACD is changing character. Got a nice breakup out of that little base there. I remember a lot of times that first candle, the first candle that opens up under your 9, you'll get a second candle to reclaim it. So be careful going short there so fast. You can see the huge pullback on Friday. We had that on our radar as well. You can see your weekly chart for NVIDIA holding your 20 here for support. Your 9's on its way up. We did close back below this level of resistance there. Oxy, had this crude pull way back on Friday. Not sure why. It just snatched way back on Friday and was able to recover the rest of the day. Looks like Oxy had a pretty good day Friday after the recovery. A nice push up. Once again here, you're back below your 9 and 20 here as well. Even though we had this big push up on Friday, you're back below your 9 and 20. They're going to roll over and apply pressure. Your 50 days right there is support. MACD's bearish. PLTR, it's another chart. Just trading weaker than everything else. It's just not really, it's just not healthy. It's not what I would be looking at unless I was looking for some short action or something. Just not what I would try to be bullish on right now. Pendleton got this nice little cup down here. We have pulled back into the 9. See if we can push. Looks like we did close right at it. Once again, there's better charts. You got overhead resistance coming into it. Better charts to trade. Plug, another one that's just been destroyed here. We bear flagged it all the way down. It did push up, went into your Bollinger Bands, exactly where you expect to see it pull back. Holding this 20, see what happens there right now, because that is your meme. Now it's looking like a break below. Riot, we added this last week as well. Nice breakdown out of this flag. Same setup as Mara. Needed to lose that area, and when it did, pulling back. Rivian, another one, very weak chart here. Not trading. So many strong charts in the market. There's just no need, unless you're looking for some shorts or something along them lines. There's no need to try to even trade that to the bullish side. There's just too many nice looking charts right now. Roblex, same thing, moving its way down. I would watch this previous level of support. Looks like we're coming into. SPX, we shared this the fib levels. So basically we bounced right off this bottom fib here, pushing up off the 9 as well. The 61.8 is resistance. SoFi, big snatch back there. Another chart that's just not trading well. We have pulled right back to a support level, so we could see a possible support bounce there. If we lose that, you can look for short action. The diamond putting in a nice resistance or a nice base here, a nice flag at a previous resistance level. S&P 500, this is the weekly. We got this downtrend we're coming in up to. If we continue to push, we also have our weekly 200. More interested into the daily 200 right now. This is the monthly chart. I just want to point out that 9 monthly is still resistance. Candle obviously doesn't close to the beginning of the month. So the SPY daily chart here, you have your 9 working the way up. We have this 200 sitting not far above us. If we do push, that's going to be a major level of resistance. If we clear that, then that would be a good sign. You can see the SPY 15-minute chart, big pullback. We put in some base, pull back again, put in this double bottom down here, took the double bottom out, confirmed it, and was able to push. We called that on Friday, provided some opportunities there, that big push at the end of the day. Our trend chart, we are all bullish, long-term, medium-term, and short-term trends on the daily chart. Square, once again, we're below the 9 here. MACD's changing character. You could see a move down. See if we can see follow through off that candle. SQQQ, bear flagging, just like the market's it's kind of bull flagging here. This is bear flagging. Exactly what we would expect. XLK, tech, flagging. We have this little cup action, but we're flagging back into the 9. If we try to push, you have some previous resistance up here that needs to be taken out. Tesla's weekly, we have broken out of this bear flag. Got a nice wick play on the previous candle. MACD's bearish. If we do continue back, we do have this weekly 200 here at 160. If we lose that, look for, well, that number's really no good in there. Looks like 143-ish or something. Right now, we're looking at 160 for the next level of support if we continue to pull back like this. We had this bear flag we talked about. We have broken out to the downside. A lot of investors there seem to be worried about Mr. Musk and how much time he plans on spending with Twitter versus Tesla. TJ Maxx, strong earnings move, had a great earnings here. So we are back, need to get back into Bollinger Bands. This is the TLT weekly. Even though it looks like a bear flag, strong move that got us back above that weekly 9. RSI coming off the bottom. Tesla, huge move down and just kind of banged out a bottom down there. Uber, another one just showing some weakness. A lot of transportation charts looking really good, but Uber is not one of them. We are holding the 9 right now, so we could still see a move up. There's been a lot of gaps. You got an island, some island top up here as well. So you got some longs trapped in here when we move down. UNG, pull back Friday, big move up after the initial pullback. Nice recovery there. And you can see the candle from Friday. See if we can get some follow through off that candle. Had decent volume on that as well. Unity, this is a move off earnings momentum. Really nice push up. 9's not wasting no time getting up here, holding the 50-day flagging. We broke the flag on Friday. See if we can see some follow through off of that. It's a really nice chart there. Wells Fargo, not, this is just not a very nice looking chart here. We huge pullback on Friday, was able to push back up. Just not, Wells Fargo is looking a little weaker than a lot of the other banks. Honestly, Goldman Sachs and some of these other banks look a lot stronger than this one. So if I was looking to trade banks right now, I'd be looking at those. Walmart, I do believe Walmart it will be able to move a lot easier getting above this 150 area. I'd like to see this 9 get caught up. A little extended there. XLF, not a bad looking chart. Push right back up into the flag resistance. I prefer it if you draw that line out. Prefer it up above this previous candle line. So I'm looking for a candle to be up there. We still have some strong banks. Like I say, Wells Fargo is a little weaker. MACD could be trying to change character there. ExxonMobil, as long as it stays in between that 9 and 20, for me, it's no trade. And AMC, another one, you have a really nice flag here, 9 on the way up, holding the 59 on the way up. We could see some action here out of this one this week. Definitely worth keeping an eye on. Well, that concludes our video for today. I hope this was helpful. And please remember, if you have not started, applying discipline to your trading yet, then your true trading journey has not started. Discipline is the key to your success. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow in the trading room.